This program is rated PG. It contains themes and scenes which may not be suitable for very young audiences. Parental guidance is advised.
Be advised that the views and opinions of the hosts and guests do not reflect those of the station.
You are what you watch. Hello, my name's Harry Tambuadco. Welcome to the show. Did you notice the introduction of this program? One, my hair's thicker, and two, it's color black. That just goes to show it's called TV magic. Ladies and gentlemen, other than just TV, let's talk of broadcast. That includes radio and now print. Now, let's go back one week ago where we have a president that says, well, of course, we all know it's the blame game. But hang on, he says, the problem is media because all the good news is inside the inner pages. In media, you're the problem because you always pick on all the wrong things I do and never the good things. Ladies and gentlemen, the problem is not media. The problem is obviously the president because he doesn't seem to understand what media is all about. So I took it upon myself to make this show, to create this specific episode, all about the concept of media. Now, what is media? Of course, there's the media magic. My hair's thicker and it's black. But that's simply because that was filmed 3-4 years ago. And we have not upgraded or edited a new introduction. But let's see, what does media do? If I'm not mistaken, basically information. Then there's what they call infomercial because it becomes the commercial and information, so you mix the two words. And then there's what we call the advertising side. So media lives off advertising that pays its cost. So it goes to advertising marketers, advertisers, whatnot, to promote and say, X product is good, that product is good. And then you have the other side, which is called the news. The presentation of the news, which is supposed to be and stay objective. And then you have what you call the critical shows, or like what I do. I just keep hitting on left and right. It's called analysis, critical thought. Now, what is the role exactly of media? Now, hang on. Don't take my word for it and all the different news and talk shows that you pick up on TV, because we have quite a number of channels now between cable, YouTube as well, and the major broadcasts. Don't take our word for it. What I'm going to do, I'm going to go through this show to try and explain exactly how media works. And I have a surprise for you. We have a foreign correspondent who's agreed to come on the show and to talk basically exactly what media does and why we're supposed to pick on the bad news. Well, hang on. Don't we expect our leaders to do good? When they do something good, do we have to celebrate it? But we expect it of them. That's why they have our mandate. But every time they make a mistake, believe me, with a scalpel, we're going to keep going right through it and find out why he's making a mistake. At this point, I'd like to introduce a gentleman at the very end. We've got Marko Batricivic, who's a Serb, who's been here about close to 8-10 years, if not more. Let's talk to Marko. Marko, hi, hello, thanks for being here.
Thank you for having me.
I know you're asking me, Harry, why do you want me to be on TV? And like I said, the reason being is because, well, one, you have localized somewhat. You already know how to speak a lot of Tagalog.
Yep.
If I'm not mistaken, you even have a woman girlfriend, Filipina.
Correct.
See, there you go. Now, Marko, you went to school here, and of all places, my alma mater as well in La Salle. And obviously, with your height, you have become quite a star basketball player. But now you're a proprietor. I understand you have 4 restaurants, is that correct?
4 branches, yes.
And the name is Balkan.
Balkan.
Tell us quickly about your restaurant.
Well, Balkan I started when I finished college in 2010 in a small place in San Juan.
Where is what's the address?
The address is Abad Santos 87.
Abad Santos
Yeah.
87. It's in the
Corner
loop.
Mons. It's Barangay Little Baguio near Xavier School.
Okay, very
And
good.
then it was a 50 square meter restaurant, and from there we expanded to Makati, and then
Where in Makati?
in Legazpi Village in Perea
Yeah, that's
Street.
where I go to, the
Yes,
one in
you're
Perea
the
Street.
regular.
Very nice restaurant
thank
with your brother Martin,
Yes,
right?
Martin is also, he is the one manning the one
He's
in Makati.
okay. And then you have,
And then we have one in RCBC Plaza
right.
on Ayala Avenue, corner
Okay.
Bendia, and then we have in Bonifacio Global City in Crossroads, 32nd corner 7.
32nd
32nd
corner,
Corner
7th,
7th Avenue.
on the second floor,
Second
right?
floor, yeah.
Now they're all named Balkan.
They're all Balkan, yes.
Why Balkan?
Well, Balkan is, we just want to be politically more correct because of the history that we had in Serbia.
Please explain.
So we just, because Balkan, when you say Balkan, it usually think of Yugoslavia, right? Which is no more.
Yeah,
It's
no
a
more
country that doesn't
Yugoslavia.
exist. So
Yeah.
it's split up into like 7 republics. So we don't want to hurt anybody.
Oh
We
my
just
God,
wanna
that
be
hits us
Balkan.
like the BBL that's about to happen in this country. But go ahead, let's go back to the Balkan states.
Let's hope
Yeah, okay.
that it's not going to happen
Okay.
here, but yeah. So basically, I know in the Philippines, you know, you don't choose your guests. So you want to have guests from even former Yugoslav states or even like Muslim guests or,
Yes.
or everybody is welcome. No? So we don't want to be specifically called Serbia. We want to welcome.
What is your religion? What's your faith?
We are
you
Christian
Muslim?
Orthodox.
You're Christian
Christian
Orthodox.
Orthodox, yeah.
There are a lot of Muslims in the Balkan states as well.
Yeah, definitely, yes.
So it's like here. It's basically
correct.
very.
It's very similar.
What is your food like?
Food is, well, we have influence from Mediterranean, influence from Turks, and then a little bit of Hungarian and German.
If you're a basketball player, how do you juggle all that food in the kitchen? Are you the cook?
Oh, actually, I completely changed career. So I suffered some injuries on my knee,
Okay.
and then after that, after I graduated, I said, why not offer something for locals to try, something different.
I understand your family in your hometown.
Yes.
You also own restaurants there.
Yeah, my dad
correct?
ons a
Yeah, your
restaurant, yeah.
father's.
He's
I
been in
met
the
him. I
business
met
for-
him.
yeah.
And your mom.
Almost like.
So, what's your food like? What is Balkan food like?
Well, Balkan food, basically, since Serbia is landlocked, we have a lot of meat. So we basically, we keep it simple, straightforward, nothing fancy, and it's something refreshingly familiar. It's something that everybody can adapt to because it's mostly grilled meats. We have stews, you know, simple salads based with olive oil based.
So even a Filipino can learn to taste and understand Balkan food.
Definitely, because Filipinos also eat barbecue. They also have stews like caldereta. We have goulash, which is very similar.
Same.
Yeah, crispy pata. We have pork knuckles.
Same.
Yeah, same.
Now, is it expensive?
It's about 300 per.
So middle to high.
Yeah.
Middle to high.
high, yeah.
Because the ingredients are
But well,
expensive.
we have big servings and.
Yes,
you know,
I've
yeah.
noticed that. It's
So-
huge. Ladies and gentlemen, what I just went through was an example of what you call straight advertising. It's information. I promoted the name, the location, the address, the food, the title, the owner, the purpose, the taste, everything's around it. The only thing we didn't say is, how do people find it? Do we have it on the web? Can we call a number? Can we text a number?
Actually, mostly restaurants now use social media. It's a very powerful tool. Now you get good reviews and bad reviews. No, there's not much you can do, but if you get bad review, it helps you get better. And then if you get good reviews, it's something that boosts you up and keeps you going.
How would people find it if they were watching us right now and they don't have a pencil? I keep telling these to the viewers, try to have a piece of paper and pencil, because sometimes when good information comes along and you're interested, it's nice to write it down. Now the problem is we're speaking English and we speak quite fast. So how would we get the numbers if we wanted to call more? Now obviously landlines are no longer in fashion. It's not in vogue anymore. How do we find your 4 restaurants?
Well, the best is to go through Facebook. So it's just Balkan Resto page, and then from there you have information about restaurant. Another way is to go through blogs that are done by different by the bloggers themselves. They also take photos and they advertise your restaurant and put the necessary information.
Terrific. So, ladies and gentlemen, that's an example of what you call straightforward advertising. Now I'd like to bring you over to our guest. Incidentally, I've had the great fortune of meeting this gentleman, a professional media person, a foreign correspondent, a news anchor from abroad, Canada basically, but he's also Serb. But he can speak Serbian obviously quite well, but his English is impeccable. But instead of me introducing him to you straight on, we're going to take a break. But right before we take a break, I'd like to run this clip. If the TOC is available, I'd like to end this part of the program by introducing Alex Mihailovich. Can we have the TOC roll on this video, please?
A serious situation for the past 2.5 years. They've stepped back. They said they don't want to have anything to do with this. They don't want a missile strike happening. And for some reason, Obama's pushing forward, and we know what reason it is. It's credibility.
10 million people in Serbia were living through NATO bombings, economic sanctions, and world condemnation as their dictator, Slobodan Milosevic, pushed forward with several regional wars.
Renee, this is what a great time for people that were in the Obama camp. The Bosnian War, where you were on the ground and I was on the ground at the time, where we heard of attack by Bosnian Serbs on a Muslim-held market, ended up being Muslims on Muslims. It's a credibility issue. He drew that red line in the sand. He's saying that if their chemical weapons were used, he's going to go in. First of all, it's a precedent-setting thing. He has to show Hezbollah, Iran, North Korea that he's going to do something about this.
This whole case itself really did not happen until days after the Boston Marathon. So these guys dreamed up this second attack after what they thought was a first success. Things went very wrong here on Victoria Park. An altercation between police and a civilian left one man dead and a neighborhood in shock.
This is what $630,000 of weed in raw form looks like. A big hit to what police believe is an organized crime operation.
A lesson on how to plummet to the ground at 120 miles per hour and survive. For the past 3 years, Toronto police have put extra officers on the streets of neighborhoods hit hard by crime. Those with more serious injuries were transferred to London. There's over 2,300 men and women in this brigade. When their training is over, they're going to be amongst the most combat-ready soldiers Canada's ever had.